What if I told you there's a lightweight adventure bike that looks like a desert warrior, rides like a trail machine, and still feels comfortable in city traffic? Because that's exactly what the 2026 Honda Sahara 300 Adventure is bringing to the table, and honestly, it might be one of the most underrated entry-level adventure bikes right now. At first glance, this bike doesn't try to be flashy like big touring machines, but give it a second look and suddenly you start noticing the purpose behind every detail. The tall stance, the rugged bodywork, the protective bars. It's not just a bike, it's built for riders who want to explore beyond the road without jumping into heavyweight, expensive adventure machines. And here's the interesting part: this isn't designed only for hardcore off-road riders. It's actually made for beginners, daily commuters, and weekend explorers all at the same time. That's a rare balance in the motorcycle world. Under the body, the Sahara 300 Adventure runs on a 293.5cc single-cylinder engine. Now, on paper, that might not sound crazy powerful, but that's exactly the point. This engine is tuned for reliability, smooth delivery, and real-world usability. Whether you're riding through city traffic, cruising on a highway, or hitting a dirt trail, the power feels predictable and easy to control. And for beginners, that's a huge win. Because instead of fighting the bike, you actually feel confident riding it. What makes it even more interesting is Honda's Flex 1 technology. This engine can run on both petrol and ethanol, which makes it super flexible depending on fuel availability. While this feature is mainly focused on South American markets, it still shows how practical and forward-thinking this machine is. Performance-wise, the bike delivers around 25 horsepower, which may not sound aggressive, but on a lightweight dual sport like this, it's more than enough. The torque kicks in smoothly, giving you strong low-end pull, which is exactly what you want when climbing rough terrain or navigating slow city roads. Pair that with a 6-speed gearbox, and now you've got versatility. Lower gears help you crawl through off-road sections, while the higher gears keep the engine relaxed on highways. It's not trying to be the fastest, it's trying to be the most usable. And honestly, that's what most riders actually need. But let's talk about what really makes the adventure trim stand out. Because this is where things start to feel premium. Unlike the standard version, the adventure model comes factory equipped with protective crash bars. That's a big deal, especially if you're planning to ride off-road or even if you're just a beginner who might drop the bike once or twice. These bars don't just protect the engine, they also give the bike a more aggressive, ready-for-anything look. Then there's the taller windshield. It might seem like a small addition, but once you hit highway speeds, you'll immediately notice the difference. It reduces wind fatigue, making longer rides much more comfortable. For touring lovers, this is a must-have feature. And visually, the beige metallic matte area color is something you don't see every day. It gives the bike a desert-inspired aesthetic, subtle, premium, and very different from the usual red or black bikes on the road. It's the kind of color that quietly stands out without trying too hard. Now, if you're someone who likes options, Honda has made sure there's something for everyone in the Sahara 300 lineup. The adventure version is clearly for riders who want that rugged touring vibe straight from the factory. Then there's the rally version, which brings classic Honda racing DNA with its bold red livery. And finally, the standard version, which keeps things simple and clean with a metallic gray finish. So whether you want aggressive, sporty, or minimal, there's a style for you. But here's the real question: how does it actually feel to ride? Imagine this: you're riding through city traffic in the morning. The bike feels light, easy to maneuver, and comfortable even in slow-moving conditions. The upright riding position gives you a clear view of the road, and the suspension absorbs bumps without making you feel every crack in the pavement. Now fast forward to the weekend. You leave the city, hit a highway, and then suddenly take a turn onto a dirt road. This is where the Sahara 300 starts to shine. The suspension travel, the torque delivery, and the overall balance of the bike make it feel natural on uneven terrain. It doesn't feel like you're pushing the bike, it feels like the bike is built for exactly this. And that's what makes it special. Because a lot of motorcycles are either great on road or great off-road. But this one tries to do both without overwhelming the rider. It's approachable, forgiving, and still exciting enough to keep you engaged. For beginners, it's a confidence booster. For experienced riders, it's a practical everyday machine. And for adventure lovers, it's an affordable gateway into the world of exploration. Another thing worth mentioning is reliability. Honda has built a reputation over decades for making engines that just keep going, and this bike continues that legacy. Low maintenance, durable components, and a simple engine setup mean you spend more time riding and less time worrying. And in markets where this bike is available, that reliability becomes a major selling point. Because let's be honest, no one wants an adventure bike that breaks down in the middle of nowhere. Now, is it perfect? Not exactly. If you're looking for high-speed thrills or premium electronics like ride modes and traction control, this bike keeps things basic. But again, that's part of its charm. It focuses on what really matters: rideability, durability, and versatility. And in that sense, it absolutely delivers. The 2026 Sahara 300 Adventure isn't trying to compete with big, expensive ADV bikes. Instead, it creates its own space, a lightweight, practical, and stylish machine that invites more people into the adventure riding world. It's the kind of bike that makes you want to ride more. Not because it's the fastest, not because it's the most powerful, but because it's simple, capable, and fun in a way that feels real. So if you're someone who's been thinking about getting into adventure riding, or you just want a bike that can handle daily life and weekend escapes without breaking the bank, this might be exactly what you've been waiting for. Because sometimes, the best adventures don't start with the biggest machines. They start with the right one.